Hey guys, we got a pair of 1950 Ford Coupes sitting here. This one's got an engine in it, but it's pretty rusty. This one doesn't have an engine, and it's actually in pretty decent shape. Let's get the engine pulled out of here, and we'll do an evaluation on it, see what kind of shape it's in, and decide whether we're going to be able to use it in this car or in the 1953 Ford half-ton that's in the messy garage. Thanks for watching. Hopefully the wind isn't going to cause too much trouble for you guys with the audio. What do we got to do here? Let's see. We've got rad hoses, which are pretty crappy. Need to come out of there. We've got to get the radiator out so that we don't swing the engine forward and get into that. We've got the exhaust down here that we're going to need to disconnect. Hopefully that will come apart. Throttle. Fuel line appears to have already been cut, and a little bit of wiring that needs to get disconnected. But for the most part, not too much that we got to do to get this engine to come out of here. Let me put you guys on the stand. We'll start on the radiator, and I think we're probably going to have to get things up in the air to get that exhaust off of there. Fortunately, we have the sky crane handy. Got the rad out. Didn't go too bad. Once the this top kind of brow seal kind of thing came off, it actually made the rest of the job fairly easy. Looking at the grill here, you can see how this one's kind of like it's been punched in the nose, which I guess in a roundabout way it has. Kind of looks like if we were to straighten this strut or this mounting bracket back up so that it matched the one on the other car, I suspect a lot of that grill would come back up into place. Looking at this outer ring, it doesn't look like it's in that bad a shape. And the one on the other car has a bunch of rust pitting on it, so kind of combine that, make one decent one. But that's not what we're doing today. Today's job is the engine. So, not that you guys can see, because I can't either, but I am touching, there's a missing engine mount bolt, but there's another engine mount bolt here that comes up into the bottom of the water pump. Same thing over on this side. These two are in place. They come up into the bottom of the water pump. That is our front motor mounts. And unfortunately, right now, that and the exhaust is kind of all that is supporting this engine. And throttle and some other wiring and whatnot that we've still got to undo. We grab a screwdriver, we'll disconnect the wiring, I'll try and get that throttle disconnected, and then we'll use the sky crane, lift this thing way up in the air, get some good solid jack stands under it so that I can go under, and we can brace the back of the engine so that it doesn't completely drop when we disconnect everything, and then see if we can convince that exhaust to come out. Okay, I'll take care of that. I'll bring you guys back when we're up in the air. You know what I need? I need a hoist. Hey, leave me a super thanks down below if you want to give me a hand with a hoist fund, so that we don't have to sketchily lift cars with the mini excavator and put jack stands underneath them. But seriously, we're up. Things seem fairly solid. Let me grab a piece of cardboard and we'll take a look around under the car and see what we've got to work with. I already saw something that could make things a little bit easier for us. I don't know how much you guys will be able to see under here, but you know, it's not quite as bad as I thought it was. Obviously, the floors are kind of rough. If you look towards the middle of the car, the floors don't look that bad. More towards the edges here, people's salty boots sat when they were riding around in this car. One little bit of good news, I see we've only got a couple of feet of exhaust pipe here that we got to deal with. No drive shaft. And probably have some clutch issues that we're going to have to deal with. Clutch rods over there. And there's an overdrive cable that comes down. Obviously this car at one time had an overdrive transmission. And there's a cable from the dash that comes down to activate it. Just give me a second and I'll show you what we're talking about. Look what I picked up. This is a Ford overdrive transmission out of a 1950, I think it's a sedan or something, but regardless, it doesn't really matter. That cable that we've got to worry about comes down to this lever, which engages and disengages the overdrive. The shifter assembly is in the box here. The transmission is seized, but it needs to be gone through anyways. The rest of it doesn't look like it's in too bad a shape. It should all clean up, and hopefully it will be a good transmission. I bought this for this. The overdrive transmission with a flathead Ford V8 and the factory rear gear should make something that can at least go down the highway at 55 miles an hour, which is kind of what I'm aiming for. I'll keep an eye open for another one of these though, because this car is supposed to have overdrive and there is no transmission installed in it currently. Let me get a wrench on those exhaust bolts, see if I can convince those to come free. I would prefer to just drop that pipe right out of there and not have to worry about it getting stuck on anything as we pull this engine out. We'll have to pull it a little bit forward to clear the bell housing, but I don't want to have to pull it a couple of feet forward to clear that exhaust pipe. And I don't want to break the manifold. Well guys, I figured this would take an hour to get hoisted out of here, and I've been working at it all afternoon, and we're finally down to the point where we can test the tensile strength of that last wire that I forgot to disconnect. I think I've got everything disconnected, but Murphy's Law. One thing that is going to be a bit of a trick is the back of the engine is resting on the cross shaft for the steering. The tie rod that goes across there. So we're going to have to make sure that we can get the engine up a couple of inches before we have to start kind of pulling it forward. I think that'll work. What I've got is the straps are looped around the exhaust at the front, and then they cross underneath at the back of the engine. So I think we'll be able to hook the bucket of the excavator up to that and lift, and hopefully that will pull up out of there fairly straight and fairly simple. I'm going to grab a tire to set it on the ground, put you guys on a stand, and then we'll see if there's going to be any excitement for you to see. Hopefully not. what that looked like to you. That certainly looked pretty crazy to me. We appear to have crunched our horn relay a little bit. I think that's repairable. We didn't bend that cross shaft, the tie rod. That's good. Or idler shaft, or whatever you want to call that shaft that runs across that the engine was sitting on. Appears we've cleared that. The motor mounts are absolutely hooped. Those are supposed to be glued to the rubber. But that's okay. Not surprising, the engine's been kind of sitting sagged back there. But I guess we could have probably have just ripped those out without having to unbolt them. But lessons learned. That gets our engine out of the parts car. Excellent. I kind of missed the tire, but that's not a big deal. I think what I need to do is get it back up in the air, get the tire under it, get it kind of stable, sitting level so that it's not going to dump a bunch of oil all over the place or anything like that. And then we need to move it up by the garage so we can get it inside. That is a heavy piece of cast iron. We'll have to look up that casting number and see if it tells us anything interesting. Leave a comment down below if you know what that casting number is all about. I was hoping it was going to be a C1BA casting number, which would be a Canadian engine, but it doesn't appear to be. Well guys, I think this is as far as we're going to take this one. I don't plan on tearing this down until the weather closes in. There's snow on the ground and we've got to work inside the garage. I'll get it in there, but I'm not going to start tearing into it. So I guess this is where we end it. Thanks a lot for stopping by. Greatly appreciate you taking the time to watch the video. If you got this far, you can give me a thumb up, give me one of those likes. If you haven't already done so, consider subscribing to the channel. Love to have you come back. I got all sorts of little projects like this going on. I got another one up my sleeve that I'm working on that I'm looking forward to sharing with you guys. Could be another will it run if the deal works out the way I expect it to. So probably a good idea to hit that subscribe button. Merch links down below if you want to support the channel in a little bit more direct way, or you can always leave one of those super chat or super thanks things in the links below, and we'll catch you guys in the next mess. Thanks for watching.